Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're going to look at the new campaign reward ship Tier 7 American Battleship Georgia. We had Sims. Bill Sims is on the pilot seat on this one. I also been playing a lot of Willis Lee, kind of bumping him back and forth. There's the ship build. Having a lot more success with this one. I think, update Monday, you always kind of get some goofy things that you're going to see out on the high seas there. But unlike the Champagne, where I still don't know if I've ever won a game in that ship. This one, we're having much more success. Probably about a 65 to 70% win rate, give or take. Played about 10 games tonight. We played it a couple times in the stream as well. Enjoying the ship quite a bit. If you want the too long, don't read, or whatever that it means, don't have the attention span to sit here for 13 minutes. It's a good ship. Good guns. Better armor than we've seen, especially with the Champagne recently. And pretty good accuracy. So, enjoyable ship. But this game, I kind of picked it out because we're going to see the guns in action. A lot of times you guys want to see the guns in these preview videos. And a lot of different games to choose from. We had some interesting games in terms of strategy, but maybe I'll keep those in the files and maybe we'll take a look at them later. But anyway, we're going to be highlighting the guns here. So, going to be going over the stats on this ship. For the purposes of the stats, I put Sims in the Iowa, the Alabama, and the Georgia. I left the Massachusetts off because I run Lee in that one. But anyway, comparing the Georgia to Iowa, much less HP. You can see 65.2, Iowa 72.2, and Alabama 65. So we got less HP than those ships. Not the super torpedo belt like the Alabama, more in line with the Iowa, 26 compared to 25 on the Iowa. Guns, 3x2, 457s. What's a 457? It's 3 millimeters smaller than the Yamato guns, okay? So these are the biggest guns that we got at Tier 7 currently. You only got 3 of them. You got 3 turrets of 2 each, which, reminiscent of Gneisenau, that's a 3x2 ship, I believe, but much more accurate, okay? Even with Lee in this thing, you can still have some pretty good accurate shots. So, the moral of the story, if you're not going to get the Georgia, or maybe you watch this in the future, you're trying to figure out what the thing is that just spanked you. You can't get shot by this thing, okay? If you do, you're going to have a hard time there. Indianapolis right there, I was hoping to blow him up for an opening he gone, but unfortunately we got 4 overpens in that one. So range on par with the Alabama. I got 17.2 on both those, 17.7 on the Iowa. Reload, a little bit better, 27.3. Which is surprising. I thought it was bigger than that, but the other two are 30, and then the turret traverse a little bit better, 29.5 compared to 32.7 on the Iowa and 30 on the the Alabama, sorry. And then damage, of course, much bigger. I got 17,300 compared to 14,400 on the other two for the AP Citadel shots. Speed, 29.7, and note there at the bottom we got speed boost. This thing can get up to mid-30s when you got that thing going. So add in kind of the mobility with the good speed here. This ship's actually a lot of fun to play. Turn circle, you got 890 compared to 920 on the Iowa. Not as tight as the Alabama, 710 on that, but better rudder shift. We got 14 seconds, which is considerably better than the Iowa, and a couple seconds better than the Alabama. And then detection, they're all right about the same. This is 14.8, the other two 14.7. So that's kind of the rundown on the stats. Again, with the speed boost functioning, or even without it, it's a pretty fast battleship to begin with. But once you get that going, you can get into some interesting positions throughout the game. So a lot of times what I've been doing is kind of using a speed boost to get into kind of an interesting battleship position to open the match. It depends on the map, sometimes you want to do that, sometimes not, but sometimes you'll fire up the speed boost right off the bat and get into a position that they're not really expecting, catch them off guard, and maybe you start whacking some people around, and then, maybe about halfway through the match, you got that thing reloaded again, and you can get back at it. So that's an interesting tactic to consider. I don't think we saw that in this particular match, but always interesting anyways. Here, we're going to jump into the match here. We just took out the Suzuya. He was pushing north. Now, if you can see my team's deployment, well, we're down 2 ships, and unfortunately, I don't know if the 2 ships that are dead or not are the AFKs, but when we see the scoreboard, we're going to have 2 people that aren't on the scoreboard. I'm not sure if they're purely AFK or they're disconnect halfway through the game, but regardless, this game is going to be a little bit more difficult due to their actions. Lightning over here is spotted. I'm assuming he's probably shooting at the battleship that's kind of to the south of me. And I'm trying to get forward here. We got that speed boost going, and you can see speed's climbing. We're almost up to that 30 knot mark. And I'm pinging the Fletcher. Look at what he's doing on the map here. Rushing cruisers, rushing battleships, suicide torps. He's about to go down, and he's actually going to get a kill. Okay, so down goes the Fletcher, and then in a moment, he's going to get the kill. What I suspect is happening a lot of times with these destroyer players that do this is they kind of are sitting here silently nodding to themselves, smiling. Then they leave the game, and they don't see what their actions are causing. This game is going to be purely lost because of that destroyer killed himself. We're going to see in the end. This is almost set up for an epic finish. Okay, so keep that in mind. But if that destroyer is around, and we don't need him to kill himself torping anything, especially not 5 minutes in the game, that's not a good play. But if he's around later, we'll see the changed outcome. He gone on the Iowa there, and there's a little bit of a rip from these Georgia guns. You don't want to be getting involved with those. They definitely cause some problems, and like I say, they're just a few millimeters shy of the Amato. They're bigger than the Conqueror guns. They're bigger than the Grober's guns. They're the second biggest guns in terms of caliber in the game. Okay, so you're gonna have a hard time angling against these things. You're gonna have a hard time surviving against these things if you're getting shot at them. So basically, at Georgia, it's a little bit tanky, but you can kind of whack it around. It's susceptible to being burned by HE for sure, and if it kind of gets focused by the enemy team, it can go down. So if you can see one of these things in range, and especially if you see your teammates shooting at it, you're going to want to take it off the board. It's not going to get you a massive whack every single salvo. Again, you know, you only got 6 guns firing, battleship guns being what they are. They're a little bit randomized, but when they do land the shots, you're in trouble. Okay, so jumping back into the match here, we got a Kagero spotted all the way north. He's apparently doing the old, I'm going to ride the border all the way to the end of the map and then get on their base kind of a gameplay. I'm thinking, all right, we got a Cleveland right by that guy. He can go up there, whack him, hit him with the radar, take him out. But of course, he's spotting those 2 ships in my team, and the Cleveland, somehow I wasn't paying attention when I was playing the game, but he actually goes down before he can take care of that guy. So that's a problem, and that'd be a great thing for the Fletcher to be doing right here, rather than sitting at the bottom of the sea, giddy about having nuked some ship that was irrelevant at the point in time that he nuked it. He could be taking that Kagero out. Likewise, the Lightning. Now you can see here he briefly spotted. He was trying to get in real tight for the ambush. I kind of suspected, I knew what he was going to be doing there, so I was already kind of ready to be turning off there. But I was hoping to clip him and hoping to get him dead before that happens. Unfortunately, he does a good job, pops the smoke, disengages, and we don't have the cover because they're all the way north trying to deal with that guy. So we don't get that low health Lightning down. Now he's shooting us from his smoke. We got Atlanta, we got Massachusetts, and we got Otago. Okay, now we got golden showers here. You can see what the forecast calls for. Looks cloudy. It doesn't actually look like there's going to be a lot of rain if you're looking at the sky, but you can see it coming down, splashing us in the eye, getting us all sticky, and we're not going to really be into that. So we want to be moving away from the Atlanta. Of course, the Lightning's chiming in with his HE, and the Otago basically kind of due southeast of our position. Also going to be likely spamming us with HE, so it behooves us to get out of here. We want to be getting these targets off, and I'm hoping, yes, Cleveland, I want you to get that Kagero, but we're also going to need some help down here, guys. So unfortunately, once they figure out, okay, we didn't find this guy, they kind of need to be getting back into the fight. Ganais now, I don't really know. I wish he would be pushing in more aggressively, trying to tank some of these shots. It's actually a little bit more of a tanky ship, I believe. But nevertheless, we're doing what our best here to get this Massachusetts down. And now we see the friendly fire coming in, finally assisting us here. And then the shots emanate there. We see the Otago pop up. Now he's got mostly full health. Gojira, Godzilla in Japanese. So we need to get him down. And then the Atlanta, of course, problematic. Now we still got the 2 ships up there. I think the Cleveland's going to get torped by the Kagero at some point in time. They're just going to be going ham, these 2 destroyers. But you see there, Otago, roughly a 45-degree angle. We don't get citadels, but we get nice, juicy penetrations and damage. So this one, I think we're going to wind up with about 150k, give or take, maybe just a little bit shy there. But my thinking right here, I want to kill the Otago first with the AP. He's got the armor, to actually allow these AP shells to fully damage them. Hoping to get them with the salvo. And then we can switch over to the HE because that Atlanta, really lightly armored, and we didn't get the kill on him there, unfortunately. But Atlanta, really lightly armored. HE is actually going to work better against him. And then we'd have the HE loaded in the barrels for any destroyers that might pop up as well. So you can see the Cleveland, unfortunately. I don't know if he had a radar, he didn't use it, or he had sonar, he didn't use it, but somehow he didn't find the Kagero, who managed to torp him. That's a big problem here, because now even if we get these guys, it's going to be 2 battleships fighting 2 cruisers. Well, let's assume we get the cruisers. We're still 2 battleships kind of trying to fend off 2 destroyers who are pushing the cap. Okay, so this is going to be a difficult situation at this point in time. Still wanting to get that Otago. Looks like he popped a heal. I think he has got a little bit more health than the last time we saw him. And here we got some torps coming in from the Lightning. Once again, the Lightning very, very low, but basically he's kind of... I'm pinned in between these 2 destroyers. If you can understand where that Lightning is, he's basically right behind me, and then Kagero more or less in front of me. So these guys kind of have me wedged here. Once again, I was kind of hoping we can kill these cruisers rapidly, then maybe work together to get the destroyers killed. But unfortunately, Kanai's no. He's in the smoke. He's getting gunned down by the Kagero. Still working on the Otago. Unfortunately, we got another 4K or so on him there. But yeah, overall, you can see the guns quite effective. You know, he gone to Iowa on this one. I've been blowing up stuff left and right today. Even destroyers close range, it's accurate enough to give them nice sturdy whacks whenever they pop up. So I'm liking the ship quite a bit. Definitely going to be one of those campaigns. If you're a Battleship player, for sure, this is not going to be one that you're going to want to skip. So maybe I think a lot of you guys might have taken the champagne off last time. I don't really blame you. That's probably one of my least favorite ships. Certainly, probably my least favorite campaign ship that we've seen here. But this one, they've definitely, they're coming back on the rebound. So here we got the guy on the base. We can see, now I'm thinking, okay, is it the Kagero? No, because look how close that edge of the base is there. We'd be spotting them. So you'd know it's the Lightning. Now, ideally, I want to kill the Atlanta first. Remember, we got the HE loaded in there. Now we got problems, though, because we got this guy's on my side. And once he gets on the side with the torpedoes, then you're kind of in trouble. So at this point in time, we're really boned. I'm trying to turn around and get him, but the Atlanta does come back on. Now we need to kill this ship to have any chance here, because if he's spraying, hosing us down, uncontrolled, you know, eventually it's just going to cause way too many problems. So we got to kill him first. Unfortunately, that kind of forces us to turn broadside. I was trying to angle back towards that Lightning, and down we go there. So anyway, that's a look at the Georgia for you. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World of Warships. It's coming all the time for you. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.